We are joined now by Eddie Radosevich of Sooner Scoop, live from Big 12 Media Day. Jerry Jones has pulled out all the stops to give him the greatest background in the world. And we're going to talk about great questions. I asked Eddie, I gave him an assignment. I said, write down the 3 or 4 best questions you heard all day, the first day of Big 12 Media Days. And by that, I mean the stupidest questions. We are not going to out anyone who asked these questions because we want to protect the innocent. And hey, we've all asked dumb questions before. And speaking of dumb, this is actually the second time we're recording this video because I forgot to press record.
I wasn't going to say anything. I wasn't going to sell anybody out.
It's important to be honest with the viewer, Eddie. It's important to be honest. So I have not heard these questions. I am ready. Ask me. I may be able to answer them. I may not.
Here we go. 2 from the Sark press conference, which I had radio this morning, got down here a little bit late. I walked in right as Dave Aranda was talking. I listened to the Lance Leopold thing on the way in to town. Sark, can Texas win a championship? Straight up. It was, can Texas win a championship, which is always
a great question.
Best. Like Big 12 Media Day just in general is always well, what's he supposed to say? Like that, I always sit in the back and I make snide remarks. I know people are doing their job, but what's he supposed to say that? No. Like I want one coach to come to a Big 12 Media Day or any media day, Andy, and say, we had a terrible summer. I don't have high expectations for the season. Like completely Charlie Weiss it. He's my hero for the way that he acted a couple years ago. Well, I guess it's more than
I was in the audience when that happened. I think you were too. And I'm like, did Charlie Rice really just call his team a bag of crap? I think he did.
Yes. It's always great. Always great. And then there was another form. It was almost a little bit of a follow-up to Sark. It was, will they bring home a championship? Which I think that coincides with winning a championship. So maybe that answer wasn't good enough.
What if they don't bring it home? Like, what if they leave it? What if they leave it in a Buc-ee's on I-35 on their way back home? Like
it'd be very understandable.
There's a big Buc-ee's in Temple. They might just leave it sitting there. Like they walk in with the trophy. People are getting beaver nuggets, beef jerky, and somebody just leaves it in the bathroom.
Yes. And, the way the Buc-ee's works, it might come out better. They might put something in it, and, they would obviously get it to the city of Austin by the time the celebration needed to happen down in Austin. So those two were like far and away, just blew me away. I thought they were awesome. Mike Gundy was great today. I thought, obviously with the Big 12 and the ending of the Bedlam rivalry, I think that is something that, obviously a lot of people know that it's going to come to an end this season. He's been adamant that it's always been Oklahoma that has ended it. And I know their schedules aren't going to work out and they can't play in the non-con anytime soon, but I always get a kick out of that. And then the third question that it's kind of an encompassing question. Every coach has basically asked it in one form or the other. It's basically overall expectations coming out of summer, which it kind of goes back to what I was just saying as far as I want a coach one time to just be like, I got nothing. We're not going to be very good. There's no reason for season ticket holders to re-up, and especially with Sark or maybe even Brent Venables, just something along the lines of, yeah, we're screwed when we go to the SEC. I've always got a kick if somebody would have said that.
Yeah, I just want somebody to say, well, 5-7, but we might make a bowl if when Baylor comes to town, they get some bad shrimp the night before the game. Maybe.
Yeah. If Dylan Gabriel pulls his hat out or if we can get a stop on third down, I'd love for Brent Venables to say that, but he's probably not. He's going to fill up the transcript with a lot of stuff that we have to, fortunately, don't have to transcribe from the podium.
So I know there were a bunch of other questions asked that were fairly repetitive and common. One was Brett Yormark got a lot of expansion questions, which of course he's not going to be like, yeah, we think we're going to get Colorado and Arizona. But what was the vibe as there was expansion question after expansion question?
Well, you could just hear the murmur in the crowd and hope that maybe he would bite. And then after like the third or fourth one, it was like, the guy's probably not going to answer it. He's not going to announce that Gonzaga is headed to the conference or UConn's headed to the conference anytime soon or Arizona State's or Colorado or whoever. But, we can hope. It'll be interesting.
So I'm going to ask you the most important question that came out of today because we don't find out till August. Who's going to play halftime of the Big 12 championship game? My money's on Sweetie.
Sweetie. That would be amazing. I would hope that it's somebody that has a little bit of flair, and knowing Brett Yormark and the way that he is kind of operated since taking over, which has been very impressive. I've kind of kept an eye on it, even though Oklahoma's going to the SEC. Sweetie would be pretty sick. I wouldn't mind seeing an old school Nelly performance. How about that? Just throw it all the way back.
Oh,
They could move it
he's
back to
doing
the
country
RCA Dome
now.
too.
It'd be tremendous. You get rap and country in the same artist.
The Dallas folks would love it, I'm sure.
Oh, that's brilliant. You're going to get hired by the Big 12. You're not going to cover Oklahoma in the SEC. You're going to be working for the Big 12 before all said and done.
I'm going to drive a tough bargain. I can tell you that.
Eddie Radosevich, you got one more day. The Sooners will be at Big 12 Media Day on Thursday. We don't expect Brent Venables to say, we're going to give it a shot and then go to the SEC, but we don't think we're going to win the championship. But hopefully he'll say something interesting. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, he usually is. And it's going to be interesting. It's a pivotal year for Brent Venables going into year number 2. I know that Carrie's kind of outlined that with you already. And, there's a lot of, I wouldn't say tension in Norman right now, but I think that there's a lot of cautious optimism that they can get this thing turned around.
Oh, there's nerves in Norman and Austin for sure. And there's
No
a bunch of other Big 12 schools just licking their chops. I guarantee K-State, TCU, Texas Tech, they're ready to shoo them out of the conference with 0 trophies this season. So, Eddie, thank you so much.
You bet. There was nobody in Norman that was disappointed that Kansas State and Texas Tech weren't on the schedule. They've given them problems in the past.
Exactly. Well, Eddie, enjoy.
Absolutely, Andy. Anytime. Welcome to On 3. We're new too. This is awesome.
Exactly. We all came together. We just now we got to have a mixer, and then we're good.
Absolutely. I can be in charge of that. We can put that together.
Nelly plays the mixer.
Absolutely.